Okay everyone, welcome to this next video lesson. Make sure you have paper and pencil out ready to copy down everything from the video lesson. Right? So first thing, as we always do, is we are going to identify the name of this video lesson. And it is called Arithmetic Series and Geometric Series. Right? This is the Arithmetic Series and Geometric Series. So, what does series mean? Series, kiddos, is, right, sum of certain number of terms depending on the common difference or the common ratio, okay? So, it's what happens when you take a big long list of numbers and you add them all up. You know, what is the sum? What do you get when you add up all these numbers, okay? So, first thing we're going to do is arithmetic series. And this is the formula we're going to use to find the arithmetic series, the sum. What happens when we add all of those numbers together. So there are certain things that we need to know. N is the number of terms we're going to add, so how many numbers are being added. A to the first is the first term in the order. And a to the n is the nth term or the last term in the order, okay? The number of terms is n. The first term is a1. The last term is an, okay? So, let us take a look at what that looks like when we work it out. So, the first set of instructions say, evaluate each arithmetic series described, okay? So we're going to add this arithmetic series described, okay? So this letter here, this is a Greek letter. This is called sigma. This is what we call sigma. So this says sigma 15 minus 9k. Here it says k is equal to 1 is on the bottom, and on the top you see an 8. That means we're going to add 8 terms, starting with 1 all the way to 8. But we're going to take those numbers and we're going to plug them into here. Right? So let me show you how to get the first term. So a to the 1 is equal to, so I'm going to take what I have in the parentheses here, and I'm going to write it in a parentheses here, 15 minus 9, but instead of writing k, I'm going to write 1, because 1 is my first number. 1, like that. 9 times 1 is 9. I bring down my 15 minus. 15 minus 9 is equal to 6. And there you go. Look at that. Our A1, our first term, is 6. Now, to get our second term, everybody, I would plug in 2 here. Our third term, I would plug in 3. Our fourth, 4. Our fifth, 5. Our sixth. I think you get the idea, right? All the way ending on 8. Starting on 1. Starting on 1. Ending on 8. So this is going to be our last term. So here it says a to the n is our last term. So let us find our last term now. A to the n is equal to 15 minus 9 parentheses 8 parentheses. 9 times 8 is 72. 15 minus 72 are not the same sign, so I subtract and I get negative 57, because 72 is bigger and 72 is a negative. So that's our last term. So when we have an order, our first term is 6, our last term is negative 57. So now, kiddos, let us do our formula here. Our formula says s to the n. N means how many terms? Well, let's take a look. S to the n, it says S to the n is equal to, let's copy it all down, n parentheses, A1 plus AN over 2. Okay? So, let us take a look here. S to the N. N means how many terms we're adding. Well, if we're starting at 1 and ending at 8, those are 8 terms. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we're going to say S8 is equal to, this is also N, right? N and N. So this is going to be 8 here. 8 times A to the first. What do we get from A to the first? 6. 6 plus our last term, A to the N. What do we get for A to the N? Negative 57. Negative 57 divided by 2. Look at that. Look at that. Right? So our sum for the first 8 numbers in this series is going to be whatever we get from here. So let us use our calculator. Right? Let us use our calculator, which is right here. So let us clear here. So 8 parentheses. What was our 6 plus negative 57? Okay. Parentheses 6 plus negative 57. Right? The whole thing divide. Actually, you know what? I need to do another parentheses right here, like this. Right? And parentheses, and the whole thing divided by 2. You see, everybody, why I had to do a separate set of parentheses? Because I want to divide 6 plus negative 57 divided by 2. Okay, so make sure you do that. We get negative 204. So the sum of the first 8 terms is negative 204. So when we add that list of 8 numbers, we get negative 204. There you go. Look at that. We have evaluated the arithmetic series. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Okay? Next, we are going to evaluate each geometric series, everyone. Evaluate each geometric series, right? We're going to evaluate each geometric series. So, again, this is sigma. We're going to start at 1 and we're going to end at 7. Okay? So what do we need here? We need n, the number of terms. Okay? So we'll just pick a different color here. So we need n. Okay? We need a1, the first term. Okay? a1, the first term. And we need r, the common ratio. Okay? Let us find r. So n is the number of terms. Well, if we start at 1 and we end at 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, that's 7 terms. A to the first. Okay. Well, let us go on the side here. I'm going to say a to the first is equal to 5. And m is 1, so I'm going to plug in 1 here. So I'm going to say parentheses, oops, parentheses 1 minus 1. Well, that equals to 1 minus 1 is 0. And anything, kiddos, remember, anything to the 0 power gives us 1. So our first term is 1. Perfect. Now we must find the common ratio. But wait a minute. We don't have the common ratio. Oh, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to find the second term. Because remember, to find the common ratio, I could divide the second term divided by the first term. So if I find the common ratio and I say 5, parentheses, m, which is 2 minus 1. 2 minus 1 gives us 1. And 5 to the first power is 5. There you go. Look at that. So we have our first term, which is 1. Our second term, which is 5. And how do we find r? Well, we're going to divide second term divided by first term. Our second term is 5. Our first term is 1. 5 divided by 1 gives us 5. And that is our common ratio. So we have everything that we need now, right? We have everything that we need now. So I'm going to recopy the formula here. This says Sn is equal to A1, big parentheses, 1 minus r to the nth power over 1 minus r, big parentheses here. Now, let me tell you that right here, we're going to need another set of parentheses here, like that, in our calculator. Okay? So let us now plug in what we have. Okay? S to the n. What is n? N is 7. Okay? So the sum of the first 7 terms is equal to a to the first, which is 1. Okay? Big parentheses, small parentheses now, 1 minus r. What is our r? 5. 5 to the power of n, which is 7, over 1 minus r. 1 minus r is 5, big parentheses. So this, kiddos, is what we're going to plug into our calculator. Now, it's going to look weird, but we can do this. Okay? So clear. 1 parentheses, another parentheses. Remember? 1 minus 5 to the 7th power. Inside there, 1 minus 5 to the 7th power, parentheses. Okay? Let's see here. So parentheses here, divided by, another parentheses, 1 minus 5, close parentheses, and then big parentheses. Look at that. Let me make sure. 1, big parentheses, 1 minus 5 to the 7th, divided by 1 minus 5. Yeah, that looks good. We get 19531. So our sum of the first 7 terms is 19531. There you go. Look at that. That's a geometric series. We found the sum of the first 7 numbers. And that right there, kiddos, is what we're going to do, right, for this next lesson. So make sure that you copied everything down, right? You redo each problem just in case you're confused. All right, thank you.